All right, Mike, welcome in. Ryan Trenger for your Class A Pro. I'm recording. Good to have you, buddy. Looking forward to work today. So, like my first coach told me, it's process of elimination to what you're left with is a fundamentally sound golf swing. And so you'll see I'm very systematic about what we do. It's like dominoes. If things are out of order, then they're affecting the dominoes that are over here. You with me? And that's how I've helped many players is we go in sequence to make sure to fix things. Now, one of the first things here that we have to talk about is at the setup, how you have a forward press at the setup. You'll see here in a moment that if we take a look at Tiger Woods here, a lot of times I'll use him as a reference since, for obvious reasons. But you can see lots of other players doing this as well. Let's see, I need an iron swing. Let's see here. Oh, too many Woods. That's what happened here. Tiger Woods. There it is. Okay. So this picture here is a great one for the setup. Okay, so if we just take a look here, what's the first thing you see here?
I have the forward press.
You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Your hands should be in the middle of your legs at the setup here. Do you see that? See how his hands are near his crotch, you could say? See how your hands are closer to your left leg, right? Now, I'll do that, what you're doing, when I'm trying to hit it low. Do you see how low that shot is on the screen?
Yeah.
Not surprising because you've set the club up to hit it low. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we're going to do here right away is we have to sort out the hand position and the club position to set up so that you're more correct. So basically here, your hands should be right around here, right? And then the club should be more like this at the setup position, right? Now, that's also going to go into, we're also going to be going into what's happening with your grip and where the V's of your grip are. And I'm going to give you some information on that here in just a moment. So you can see how the left hand V of your grip is angled over here toward your left ear. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's because it's forward press. But if it was back center, it'd be over here.
Well, maybe, right? So we got to see what happens. But it looks like it is also rather what's called weak on the grip. So, like with the V's of the golf grip, just to give you kind of some intel on this, there's different positions, right? So when the V's are outside of the shoulder, it's considered strong. When the V's are pointing to the left shoulder, it's considered weak. And then what's considered neutral these days is something like this. See how the V's are parallel and go. The left V goes to the inner shoulder, the right V goes to the outer shoulder. This would be a little stronger, but still pretty close to neutral. This is a pretty good picture of what neutral looks like. You see how the V's are angled like this, right? So your left hand looks like this one. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now, I did some research, and it's kind of fun. I did some analysis of some players. One in particular, Scotty Scheffler, our number one player in the world. And if you take a look here at his setup position, and we look at what's happening with his V's of his grip, his V's are like this. See where the left hand is?
Mm-hmm.
Inner shoulder, right hand going up the shoulder. I also checked out Jon Rahm's, because Jon Rahm obviously was off to a hot start at the beginning of last year. And so I analyzed his swing and his grip. And look at this. He also has his V's the same for the most part here, right? And then if we take a look at another one that's pretty good, Sam Burns, after he won the match play, I checked his swing out also. And it just so happens there's a theme. So all these top players are tending to have their V's parallel and angling towards that right shoulder. And again, you can see how his hands are closer to the middle of his legs instead of his left leg. So one of the first things that we're going to do here is we're going to be fixing your hand position and your grip position at the setup position. And then from there, let's take a look and see what's going on during the swing that we're going to have to get into correcting right away. All right, here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so one of the other ones that starts to happen here is immediately you start taking the club what's called too far inside or behind you. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have this this hip sway to deal with. Right now, just on that real quick, I'm going to show you a video with Rory McIlroy about the takeaway.
Roy, and this is my favorite swing thought. For me, I think one of the biggest keys in my swing is making sure that the club stays in front of my body on the way back. So anytime, if I keep the club in front of me here.
See how the club is out there?
Yeah.
And so if we take a look here and we bring you back into your takeaway, see how your club is not in front of you?
Right.
It's behind you, we say.
That just makes the rest of the swing a lot easier. Sometimes if the club gets behind me early, then it makes it more difficult.
So you're bringing it behind you early, which is making things more difficult, like he said. So here in a moment, we're gonna work on that setup position with the grip and the hand position. Then we're gonna go right into making a better takeaway, and then from there fixing that hip sway. Because with the hips, and I think you know from this, but I'm gonna show you one of these with Tom Watson, real fast on the hips, just so you know what we're gonna get into. And so he said this here. Watch this.
Number two, I remember one of the great tips I learned as a kid, and that is you want to turn your lower body in a barrel this way and then that way, like this. You don't want to be sliding outside the walls of the barrel this way. You want to be turning in the.
And so that's our next thing on our agenda.